Hi, this is a story about a young guy who was at Bible college. He'd done everything that was required of him except to pass his preaching. So on this particular day, he was asked just to preach his sermon. And he was so nervous. When it came time for him to preach, he said to the congregation, "Do you know what I'm going to preach about?" And they all said, "No." And he said, "No, do I?" On that note, he rushed out of the pulpit and went outside. Well, his supervisor finished preaching and finished the service, came to him and said, "I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. I'll give you another chance." Next week came, and he said to the congregation, "Do you know what I'm going to preach about?" And everyone in the congregation said, "Yes." And he said, "I don't need to tell you then." And on that nervous note, he ran out. Again, the supervisor came and said, "I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in you, young man. Listen, 3 strikes and you've got to be out. We cannot pass you." So the following week came. He'd prepared his message. A good message, he thought. And he got up to preach, and nerves took hold of him. And again he asked the question, "Do you know what I'm going to preach about?" And this country congregation were wise to him this time. And half said yes and half said no. And he said to them, "Well, those that know, go tell those that don't know." And he rushed out. Supervisor preached his sermon, left the pulpit after the service, came to him and said, "Young fellow, I'll give you a pass, but you could have stretched out your sermon to about 15 minutes, but your message was there." And the young guy scratched his head. He said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, the greatest message you can preach is to tell those that do know about God's love, that do know about the salvation of Jesus Christ, to go and tell those that don't know. So you have a pass." Our responsibility today for those that know Jesus Christ is to go and tell people that don't know. In this lead up to Palm Sunday, in the lead up to Easter, may we who are Christians share the message of God's love to those that don't know. May God's grace, mercy and peace be with you this day. Hosanna.